In this video we're gonna set the attack animation. As you can see, whenever I pressing the left mouse button, we are playing the attack animation, as you can see. So without furthering delay, let's dive into this topic. Okay, so what we're gonna do, so find the animation tab. Okay, if you can find the animation tab, you just have to go to window in the top and find animation, and then control 6 or control 6, and also the animator tab. So we're gonna create new attack animation. So what we have to do, I'm gonna drag this animation tab over here. We're gonna create a new clip. Okay, so firstly select the player. Okay, select the player and create new clip. We're gonna call it we're gonna call this animation something like player attack. Okay, player attack 1, player underscore, I'm gonna call it player attack 1, something like that, and hit enter to save that. So what we need to do, we need to drag all of the frames over here. Okay, so find the sprites, find those sprites. Okay, find those sprite. As you can see, I have this, so I'm gonna drag, select all of them, and I'm gonna drag over here animation. And we also have to record the animation. Okay, to record the animation, hit the record button. Okay, and play animation. I think it's too fast, so we're gonna make space. So select like this and make space line. I'm going to make it 20. Okay, if I play the animation, as you can see now, it's, I guess it's pretty fine. So when you done with animation and unrecord this, hit the record button once again, so it will record it. So I'm gonna move it over here. Okay, now if we go to animator tab, as animator tab, so okay, I am gonna delete this. Okay, I'm gonna delete this. So if you go to animator tab, you will able to see this new animation, player attack 1 animation will be added. As you can see, we have player attack 1 animation. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to this player attack animation with certain condition. We're gonna say we're gonna trigger a function or something like that. We're gonna trigger, and we're gonna go to player attack animation. Okay, we only gonna go to player attack animation when we are just standing or playing the idle animation. We're not gonna go from player run or player jump. We only gonna go from player idle when we are standing or we playing the player idle animation. Okay, so what we're gonna do, firstly we're gonna choose a condition. Okay, we're gonna make a condition. So what we have to do over here, as you can see, parameter, hit the plus icon and select this trigger and name that to attack 1, something like that. Okay, so we're gonna make transition from idle animation. So right click on idle animation and make transition. Okay, we're gonna go to player attack animation. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna choose a condition to go in the player attack animation. So hit this arrow. Okay, and we're gonna untick this as exit time, because we're gonna go immediately. Okay, we're not gonna play the 90% of player idle animation, then we will go to this player attack animation. We're not gonna do that. So we're gonna untick this, and we're gonna transition duration gonna set to 0. So we gonna go to immediately to this state, and we need to choose a condition, in which condition you want to go to player attack animation. So we have created this attack trigger, so we're gonna choose this. Okay, so hit the plus icon and select the attack one. Okay, so if this we triggering, we will go to player attack animation. Okay, so if I now play, okay, if I now play and if I select trigger this one attack parameter, if I trigger the attack parameter, we will able to see the player ideal animation. We will play the player attack animation, we will go to player attack animation. Okay, so if we now say, as you can see, but we are stuck in the player attack animation, we also need to go back to player ideal animation. So we're gonna make transition to player ideal animation and also to player run animation. Depending upon, if we are moving, then we will go to player run animation. If we are not moving like anything like that, we're gonna go to player idle animation. We will go to player idle animation when we are completing the whole player attack animation, then we will go to player idle animation. And but in for moving case, we're gonna go to immediately to run state. We're not gonna play 90% or 100% player attack animation. We're gonna go to immediately. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna make transition to player idle. So what we need to do, right click on player attack animation and make transition to player idle. Okay, we're gonna go to player idle animation, we're gonna choose a condition. Okay, then if that condition becomes true, then we will go to player idle animation. So we have to select this arrow. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna leave it as exit time, because we're gonna play the 100% of player attack animation, then we will go to player idle animation. Okay, whenever we press the left mouse button, we're gonna go to player attack animation, we will play the 90% of attack animation, then we will go to player idle animation. So we're gonna leave it as exit time, we're gonna check this, and we're gonna set it to 1, because 1 is means 100%. Okay, and we're gonna set transition duration, we're gonna set it to 0, because we're gonna transition between idle immediately. So that's why before that we are playing the 100% animation. As you can see, we selected 1 means basically 100% of that animation. So we need to choose a condition, which condition you want to go to player ideal animation. As we know, if we not pressing anything like that, if we open up the player movement script, as you can see, input dot get axis horizontal, basically this checks what you pressing. Okay, if you pressing A or D key, the movement will be 1. So if the movement is 1 over here, as you can see 1, so it will be greater than 0.1. As you know, 1 greater than 0.1, so we are setting speed parameter over here to 1. Okay, so it will go to player run. Okay, if we set this speed parameter to 0, we will go to player idle animation. If we not pressing anything like that, so the movement over here becomes 0. And as we know, 0 is lesser than 0.1, then what we are doing, we are setting this speed parameter to 0, this speed parameter to, we are setting it to 0. Okay, so so we're gonna set to 0. Okay, we're gonna choose condition, or so hit the plus icon, we're gonna set less, and we have to type over here something 0.1. Okay, so as you will know, as 0 will be lesser than 0.1, so we will go over to player idle animation. So we are choosing this condition. Okay, so as we know, when we are not moving, we are setting the movement to 0. Okay, and if the movement is 0, 0. Okay, so then we are setting this speed parameter to 0, 0. Okay, if this speed parameter is 0, so as you know, 0 is lesser than zero point 0.1, so the condition becoming true, so we are going to player idle animation after playing 90% of sorry 100% player attack animation. As you can see, we selected 1, basically this means 100%. And we also need to go to player run state, depending upon, like if we press the A or D key, so the movement will be greater 1. So as you know, if the movement is greater than zero point 0.1, if the movement is greater than 0.1, as you can see over here. Okay, if the movement is greater than zero point 0.1, we are setting this speed parameter. Okay, we are setting this speed parameter to 1. If this speed parameter to 1, so so we're gonna go to player run state. Okay, so we also need to make transition from player attack animation to player run state. So what we have to do, right click on player attack animation and make transition to player run state. Okay, so we need to choose a condition, in which condition we want to go player run animation. So select this transition or select this arrow. So we're gonna go to immediately. Okay, we're not gonna play 100% attack animation. Okay, we're gonna go to player run animation as soon as we press A or D key. We're not gonna play attack animation 100% like that. Okay, so we're gonna untick this. Okay, and we're gonna set transition duration to 0. We're not gonna wait, we're gonna go to immediately, and we're gonna choose in which condition we want to go. So what we want to go when the speed, okay, when the speed is greater than zero point 0.1. As we know, if we are pressing A or D key, we are setting movement to so movement way, what we are doing, if we go to, so if the movement is 1, as you know, the whenever we press A or D key, the movement will be 1, it will be greater than zero point 0.1. As you know, 1 is greater than 0 0.1. So what we are doing, we are firstly going to animator, then setting that speed float, this speed float to 1. As you know, if we set it to 1, this is speed parameter to 1. Okay, it will be greater than zero point 0.1. As you know, 1 is greater than zero point 0.1, we are setting speed parameter to 1. So as you know, 1 is greater than point 1, so it will go, so the condition becoming true, so we will go to player run animation. I hope you get the idea. Okay, so what we're gonna do, if we hit the play button, and if we set this to true, okay, if we set this trigger, okay, if we set this trigger, we will go to player attack animation. Okay, so as you can see, by default player ideal animation is playing. If I now set it this trigger to true, as you can see, we are attacking, we are going to player attack animation. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna control this attack parameter, okay, attack trigger, via our code. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a separate script to make things simple. Okay, so what create a script. Okay, firstly you have to go to script folder or assets. Okay, so right click, create C# script, name that C# script to player attack, something like that. Okay, and select the player. Okay, select the player and drag the player attack script to add component section of player, and double click it to open up in Visual Studio. I'm just making another script to make things simple. Okay, so what we're gonna do, firstly we need this animator component of this player. As you can see, when we played the when we added the animations, player ideal run, like something like that, we added this by default, that this animator controller has been added. As you can see, animator component. Okay, so this component is responsible for switching animation or animating the character. Okay, so we need this animator component, we need this animator component, then we will able to set this. Okay, firstly we will go to this animator component, then we will gonna set this trigger. Okay, attack trigger. So what we need this animator component, so we're gonna go to, we don't need the update function. Okay, we're gonna remove it, and we're gonna make public, so we can see in the inspector the type of the component is animator. Okay, animator, and you can call anything like that. I'm going to call animator. Okay, and end up with semicolon and control s to save this. We will able to see an empty field of animator component will appear. Okay, slot or field. So what we need to do, we need to drag this animator component to that field, so we will have the link, then we can tweak this trigger. Okay, we can tweak this trigger. So just wait for to compile, and you will able to see an empty field of animator will appear. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna, as you can see, animator which says none, so it is empty. So what we need to do, select the animator and drag it into that animator slot. Now we have the link of animator component. Now we can tweak this trigger. Okay, so we need to go to script once again. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do it update function, because update function get call every single frame, and we're gonna check if we pressing the left mouse button. Okay, we need to keep track every single frame, that's why. So we're gonna check if input, okay, input dot get mouse button down. Okay, mouse button down. Basically 0 is the left one. Okay, if we pressing the left mouse button, on 1 is the right one, so we're gonna check the left one. Okay, so we have to pass the 0 1. So we're gonna check if we pressing the left mouse button. Okay, if input dot get mouse button down 0 0 0, basically means if we pressing the left mouse button. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna firstly go to animator. Okay, so we're gonna go to firstly animator, and we're gonna set that trigger. Okay, we have to type this trigger function, set trigger, and you have to pass the same name. As you can see there, we set attack 1, so we're gonna set that. So we have to pass the same name as argument. Okay, attack 1, and end up with semicolon. Okay, so whenever we pressing the left mouse button, firstly we are going to animator component, and we triggering that trigger. Okay, that parameter. So control s on your keyboard and head again to unity. Okay, when we play the game, and if we play, if we press the left mouse button, we will go over to player attack animation. Okay, we will go over to player attack animation, but we only able to go when we just standing. Okay, we're not going from our player run, but we are going player attack animation to player run as soon as we pressing the left or right mouse button. Okay, hit play, and see that. Okay, just wait for to compile, and you will able to see that. Just wait for to compile. Okay, whenever we press the left mouse button, as you can see player attack animation is playing, and it's going to player idle animation because we are not pressing A or D key, so the movement becomes 0. If the movement is 0, we are setting speed parameter to 0, and 0, as you can see, 0 will be lesser than 0.1, so that's why it's going to player idle animation. Now if we go to run state, as you can see, we are not playing 90% of animation, okay, 90 or 100% when we are running. We are going to immediately to run state, okay. But when we are standing like this, we are playing the 90 or 100% of the player attack animation, okay. So I hope you get the idea. So if you did, please please consider to subscribe if you are new to my channel, and if you enjoyed this video, then give a thumbs up and share it with your friends, okay. And if you want to support me, you can support me on patreon.com, okay. And lastly, thanks for watching this video. I hope you get the idea, okay.